Hello. What's up, guys? Welcome to today's stream. Today we are. If you've seen my, oh yeah, by the way, my name is Odokuro. For everyone who has not joined me before, today we are going to be discussing our or my lore. What to call this? My lore scene, my background lore, of course. Yeah, I've been really wanting to. Yo, what's up, Ligma? Ligma Pause. The fuck. Yo. Hello there. Welcome to the stream. I see you're a first time chatter here, but yeah, today I just started the stream. Yo, hello. I just started the stream, and today I actually plan to discuss about my character lore. My character lore. I actually scheduled this I think last week, but then I had to cancel because I had some other plans with like Wuthering Waves. I had to grind out at the time, so we are switching. We are doing it today. Hopefully, we can dive in depth in on my character lore, and hopefully, I think by around after we discuss like the world setting and everything, maybe I'll write like a chapter or like the origin story. I'll write it in like a word document, and then we'd be able to do what we call this. We'll be able to do like an origin story, which I hope maybe one day I'd be able to have it animated. But for now, we will just stick to just writing it on what do you call this? Just stick to writing it on like a document. All right. So are you like by the way, are you interested in like lore? Do you okay? I thought you'd be like a VTuber too, or like because you arrived here, but oh well. Anyways, so as you can see, my character. You know what? Before everything else, we should like show everyone what the whole body of my model looks like. Where is it? Where is my scene? And where is my um where's my model? I have to. There's so much stuff going on. Oh, okay. I kind of want to just like because there are a lot of people who who has this really cool design. Really, there are like a lot of VTubers with like really cool design, but they never really add lore to their character, or maybe they're just not into like role playing or something like that. And I believe like having a lore for your character does that kind of make your stream or your character like more immersive. This is just what I believe. Anyway, let me show you my my model, my full model. Okay, let me see. Wait, give me a minute. You know what? Let's just let's just show my freaking model through YouTube Studio. Okay, let's capture the VTube Studio instead. There you go. All right, so let's zoom it out. I think I locked it. A minute. There you go. How do you zoom it out again? There you go. Okay, so this is pretty much my character. Um, as you can see, I have a toggle for like a halo, and I have a toggle for a hoodie. So by the way, I'll have to display. I have to explain like the design choices of my character. As you can see, yeah, there's feet. Although, like to be fair, my character has no shoes because, lore wise, I never step on the ground. I just float the entire time. Like I levitate like a few inches off the ground. Um, If you can, if you, I'm not sure if you have seen. Let me open a browser. Give me a browser. I'll open a browser or something so you can see what I'm talking about. Uh, duplicate. Where's my browser? Browser. Windows Capture 2. Uh, I'll just duplicate this. Wait, I cannot duplicate. Group selected, select color transforms. Yeah. No, I can't. Unfortunately, let's just make a new object. Our is application window capture. There you go. Window capture 3 browser. I'm not sure if you know Overwatch, but there is a character. There is a character. Uh, there's a character named what we call this. There is a character named Sigma from Overwatch, where he's literally just like floating off the ground. Uh, Images of him. Anyway, sci-fi setting, it's kind of mixed, honestly, because as you can I'll just show you this that he's like floating. It's mostly sci-fi, but this is what is happening because I'm gonna turn off the browser for now because we already showed you what that's supposed to be. Anyways, so okay, so the setting is I basically there is what we call this. Basically, it's what we call this. There's an intergalactic empire, right? Uh, imagine Death Star, but not literally. It's an artificial planet made by people or like an alien race that's conquering the world. So they are very like they're very into conquering planets. Very into conquering planets. They have a ton of like big spaceships. They have a ton of like big laser guns, and they have an artificial planet as their home base. Although they own like multiple planets. The main reason why they own what do you call this? The main reason why they own multiple planets is like the main reason why they're using an artificial planet as their main base is so that they can move like any time they want to, like when they have to attack, when they have to escape, when they have to hide or whatever. So yeah, so my character is pretty much like uh my character is the main reason why even though there's Kuro in my name, the main reason why it's white is because my character is uh an artificial being. At first I actually wanted him to be like a homunculus, but then I realized that homunculuses are like magical setting like characters. They're like a magical setting character. Let me make the thing smaller. Um, let me check the browser. How's the browser at? Mm-hmm. This should go. And then the window capture should be. Let's go to the document. There we go. What the heck happened to my cat? Oh yeah, I forgot. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I am having a hard time like manipulating the windows and shit. So yeah, my character is supposed to be a homunculus or an artificial character, an artificial being. Um. Oh, fuck. Why is my Why is my thing freezing? Right. All right. Why the heck is it freezing? Okay. Uh. All right, there you go. There you go. My character is an artificial being that's been created to. Uh, it's an artificial weapon, basically an artificial weapon. What they did was clone one of the princes of, uh, kind of like a droid, but it's not like a robot because uh, it's like it's mortal. It's like a clone. It's literally a clone of the prince of the said empire, except the main difference is that his heart, instead of using a heart, they use the core of a celestial, and I don't like for they were able to capture, or like they were able to salvage the body of a celestial and use the heart to create an artificial weapon to conquer the galaxy, or like the entire universe, or like multiple universes. All right. So he is made by a scientist, which I have not named yet. So you should decide the name here. Oh wait, let's talk about that background later. But let's focus first on the design, and then I'll switch to a document so we can type in everything in the background. So anyway, there is a halo because to signify that he is a celestial. And the thing with the halo is it actually acts as antenna, due to like, which I will tell you what, which helps his ability work better. Okay, so the ability of my character is data warping. I'm not sure if you know what data warping is. It's literally I can pretty much manipulate information or data and then turn them into physical, like manifest them physically, or like, for example, I can turn any, like let's say I have a golden box. I have a golden box. I can turn that box into data, so I can like store it in a storage, or I can turn, and then when it's in my storage, I can turn that data back into a physical object to manifest that object. Literally, it makes me let me like uh, summon or create objects out of thin air by transforming data into physical objects. And the thing is, the really, really nice thing about it is, like, I can literally do anything with the data that you could do in a computer. So I could copy paste. Like for example, as I mentioned, I have like a gold box. I could literally make 100 box, like copy paste the boxes 100 times. Well, now I have like 100 gold boxes, and it's not just like copy pasting that I can do. I can also change the properties, the data of like objects. As I mentioned, I have a golden box. So if I change its property of being gold into being silver, so now it's a silver box. If I change its shape from being a box into a sword, I literally have a silver sword now. If And then if I multiply that sword by 1,000, and then change the velocity, or the velocity from 0 to 1,000 kilometers per second, or miles per hour, and now I have like a bunch of projectiles that I can shoot. And it's not just swords, like literally, as a living weapon created by the empire, I pretty much have like the records of every single weapon that they have uh in their character and in their database. So I can pretty much summon any weapon and into existence, make like 1,000 of them, and make them shoot at the same time. So the only drawback of the power is like obviously the energy source. But the energy source is, as you can see in the design, you can literally see there is a skull in the front of my character, which that's where what do you call this? That's where the core is. But you may think, why is the core shaped like a skull? It's not actually a skull. It's just so you can throw a pen at the speed of light. And I could. Um, it's actually a cube, but like it's in my heart, so you cannot see it. But because like it's a celestial thing, so it glows really hard. So if you can see, that's why my thing is what do you call that? That's why my character is. Give me a minute. Why is it not working? Alright. So, anyways, that's why, as you can see, there are lines on my body. That's the purple line. That's basically the energy from the cube going from the center into the various parts of the body. That's so it spreads out. So if you can see, it's not just it's actually these lines are actually not on the costume, but rather they're glowing from under from my skin. They're like tattoos, not like they're glowing. Yeah, I built in that are kinda. So yeah, so I have like a ton of energy. Aside me, I'm not gonna run out of energy anytime soon. Um, as you can see, there are like shackles in my body. There you go. You can see like there's a shackle. So these are pretty much limiters so that they don't just explode. Uh, and you can see that the one hand is not does not have a shackle because like when they were about to like launch the what you call it, when they were about to release like my character to like to release the thing is my character like override. I don't sure how you pronounce the I'm not sure how you're supposed to say the past tense of override. He overrode the controls himself because as you can see he can manipulate data, so like the signals of like the remote control or the control unit that you're using. I pretty much destroyed it myself, and I broke free and accidentally destroyed one of the shackles that bound me, but the rest are still intact because I was able to control my power then. As you can see, also the lines are following through the body. Even my clothes have the lines for the reason that they also draw power on from my character, from the person to uh, implement various controls, various functions, like what do you call this, like protection, temperature control, uh, and whatever functions the suit has. So as you can see, there is a pet, an AI. The main reason why I have this pet is on a stream setting. They're like the character. They're like they're like the audience, the chat for you. But instead of like bunny, it can literally be a bear, it could be a cat, it could be a dog. But this one is only a bunny for my. It's like my personal AI because it gets it does get like when you have too much data on your brain, it's just really hard to think. So I'm uploading like I'm uploading the processing to an AI, which literally it's like Jarvis from Iron Man. Like Kurosagi, please do these calculations, or please make those suit warmer, make it colder, or activate like a field, or something like that. And white hair. Actually, I have plans to have like a long hair version, but I don't have them yet. So yeah, I'm basically yeah, I'm not sharing. I guess I'm sharing a network. I'm sharing it to him. We're not like equals. I'm just like uploading. Yeah, it's like a phone. It's like a phone, and I am like the signal tower or something, and then I could send signals to via my yeah, like link together. Yes, yeah, that's pretty much what it does. Like for example, Kurosagi. It's named Kurosagi, by the way. because it's a black rabbit, Kurosagi. Um, Basically, I asked it to like summon 100 laser cannons or whatever, and then obviously it does the calculation for me. Summons like 100 cannons on my back, and then or I could just summon like I could summon like the entire like if I scan the planet or something. I turned it. I turned the planet into data. I copied the data of an entire planet on my database, and then just generate the database. Uh, copy paste that data, and then turn that into a physical projectile. It's just throwing planets around. So yeah, so you can see why my character is like designed to like take over the universe with all the functionalities that it has. It can do a lot of things. The problem is the empire really didn't think things through because uh they got what do you call this? They got decimated when my character got when they were about to like release like my character it was able to break out, and the first thing that he did was wipe out like the the artificial planet where the where the home base of what do you call this artificial planet where the home base of like the galactic empire is. So pretty much the home planet is well, the artificial planet where the base of operations of the military is, it's completely wiped out. But it does not mean that the empire is gone because, as I mentioned before, they have conquered like hundreds of planets already, hundreds and thousands of planets that they have conquered already. Uh, some have beings in it, some don't. But aside from that, so after that, like after I wipe the thing, I escaped. I I created a ship out of the database that they placed me, and I traveled into space. I traveled into space to venture into other um what it was under other planets to conquer them, and like sure I was able to uh like wrestle control from the character like from like the main signal from the main signal of what do you call this the main signal of the home planet, but I still have the instinct of conquering planets around the universe, around the multiple universes. So what that's where I'm saying where uh what do you call this? What I'm saying uh where my lore is not just sci-fi, it's also fantasy. Because obviously there will be planets where it they're not using technology, they're using magic. So literally can go to a random planet, and their power system there is not what do you call this? Their power system there is not like technology. It's not like energy, electricity. They use magic instead. So I will be making stories about those like adventures of me just diving into fantasy planets or fantasy worlds later on, and there will obviously be worlds where they have obviously technology, some have no people in it, some have thank you for thank you for the follow Sigma pause. So yeah, there is what do you call this there are like planets where um like the people are militaristic. There are people where they're thank you very much for the redeem. I have like water near me. Let me put it in the cup or something. Um so yeah, there are planets where like the people are like just tribal. There are planets where there's an unlimited amount of thank you for the hydrate. And there's a planet where it's literally there's an infinite amount of planets out there. Infinite amount, like um how can we be sure that there is no planet out there where there is they don't use they use magic or something? And the funny thing is, my character can also use magic because magic is like magic is pretty much also characters. Like for example, runes. Like if I store the runes as data in my database, in my memory, right? And then I can replicate it by copy pasting the data and pretty much replicating the effect of magic. So that's what I'm doing. That's what my character is doing. Literally just going around, like conquering planets or learning from the different planets, taking whatever I can find, weaponry, like magic, technology, culture, languages, mathematics, histories, or whatever data I can find. Because for us as a person who can manipulate data, the more data I have, the more powerful I become. So I basically scale by how much data I have and by how much energy I have. That's literally the only things. Those are the things that scale my character because obviously I cannot make my character too OP that they have no weakness, right? Because like that's if your character has no weakness at all, kind of makes like story writing really really hard because like for example make a story about me landing in a fantasy world and I just go there and someone 10, 20 planets to crash the entire planet by force, and in the end nothing happens because what kind of adventure is that where I literally just force um I literally just force the entire planet to my will with with like brute force. So what I usually do is I try to blend in and only use weaponry. What do you mean BBE? What's BBE? What's BBE? So when I go to a plan big bad evil character, and the thing is there is a term. But that's actually cool because I also play a lot of. I did play a lot of D&D when I was in college. Graduated like 4 years ago, I think. So you know that there is like a D&D version of the classes. I forgot what expansion that was where there is a modern version um what they call this. There's a modern version of like wizards, sorcerer, D&D tech wizard. Because there is a tech wizard, if I recall, technomancer, technomancy, and then there's a sorcerer version of that. It's my power's kind of like that, I guess. But obviously, I'm more powerful. I'm more like more universal. My scope is like bigger. So my main enemy is the. Actually, I don't have like a main enemy because as you can see, I've been like scoring like every single world. I have a different enemy. I have a different like basically each world is a separate universe on its own. So they do have their own things in there is happening. And what I do to limit myself to stop me from just like destroying each world by myself is uh I use I only use stuff when I go to a world. I only use stuff that I can find in that world. I do not use any other like technology unless I am like fighting enemies that I cannot like defeat or something like that, or for emergencies. Uh, Thought on building a big bad. Hmm. The problem is if I had to make one, then I have to make. I guess I could make one. The problem is like as we can see, we're still on like the very very first step of what is we're still on the very first step of lore crafting. We are still building the setting, so you cannot really build like the big bad without without being like without establishing the setting. A traitor, the traitor can the thing is, where would I get like the betrayal from? My character has no companion, at least right now. Or it could also be that, for example, remember how I what we call this remember how I destroyed like the capital planet. Remember how I destroyed the capital planet, right? It could be that like maybe one of the royalty who like left on a business trip to another planet, and then when he came back to his home planet. Oh wait. When I got released, the planet got destroyed, and then it sent like and then this person, this royalty who was able to escape, not really is able to escape, who wasn't on the home planet, during that time, and then he suddenly lost contact with the main planet, and then you know what? Emergency. We're gonna head back to the main planet, and then when they go back, it's literally just scraps of metal floating in outer space by now. And they go ahead and try to investigate like the thing. Um, they go ahead and try to investigate like the remains of the planet and found clues. And like, so what they're doing is like they're just chasing me now to like do revenge. Out of the thing that would happen, I think, is probably that what they call this is he's like every time he's probably following my tracks. So every time I move from planet to planet, he would just be following me like one or two planets behind. And I guess we'll probably have the showdown here on Earth because I decided to stay here on Earth for good, just because like my character setting is I stayed here on Earth because I really really love the culture. I really love like the creativity of humans, how they handle entertainment, because for the most part in the universe, entertainment is not really what do you call this? Entertainment is not really like priority for like majority. Sure, there are like planets with entertainment, but that's only for like that's only for like empires or galactic countries or galactic federations are like that are advanced enough that they have leeway on their hands. For most of the people of the universe, their main concern would be to survive. So yeah, I stayed here. I'm taking over the world via the internet, because obviously the internet is the fastest way to conquer the world. Like, I'm trying to conquer the world without violence, is by using the internet to gain influence, kind of like something like that by that setting. So yeah, let's finish off with the design stuff. There's really not much to say about the design. I think it's fairly simple. The white hair because it's like an artificial to emphasize that the character is what they call it. That the character is an artificial being. So probably the prince would probably look exactly the same, but with black hair, and probably like maybe black blue or black red accent, and which I will actually make into a what it is. I was actually turn it. I'm going to turn it into like an alternate costume down the road with probably like longer hair, and I'll probably make like different costumes that's based on a different planet. For example, I will have a costume where I am a mage, so mage clothes with a staff, long hair, or or me in a militaristic planet with a military uniform, or me in like a Mad Max or a post-apocalyptic costume, or me with the casual costume. I think the casual costume would probably be in my priority list because I feel like casual costume looks really cool. Maybe like a tech wear kind of jacket with like probably white or black with like lines around it, and then I would like a fur. So yeah, that's I think that's pretty much what we're doing with the design. Um, I for the artist did not freaking put the light. It's supposed to be glowing. I'm not sure why, but uh the lines are actually not glowing. It's supposed to be pulsing the light. Anyways, I'll just check up on the freaking what do you call this? Yo, Hebe, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the raid. Are you done with your stream? Anyways, so we were just discussing about like the character lore and all that stuff. Um, as you can see, the costume is like just floating over there, and there's really not much to mention about my costume. So we are going to switch into like the lore crafting of the setting, the home planet. I'm going to hello Hebe, hello Sarah, welcome to the stream. All right, so um, give me a minute. Where's my OBS? Probably going to remove the. Let me check it a bit. I'm gonna move that. Ah, okay, that works. Let's lock that out and then switch the OBS into the documents so we can put yo Solrike Sopo default welcome first time chat from the reader. Yo Solrike, yep, we are switching to the lore. You probably missed like a big chunk of it, but maybe you can just like check it out on my VOD. It's a lore crafting what do you call this, lore crafting stream, basically just talking about the setting. So far we have talked about um the basic setting, also design options, like the design choices or reason why I have these lines with what this character is, what the halo does, what does it do. That's an antenna. This is like a personal AI that does the calculations for me. The core on the what is the core on the chest, the lines that carry power from the core to other parts of the body, and the shackles and all that stuff we talked about. Okay, so we are moving on to like the setting of the world. We are switching to um where is the window cup? We're switching to the document. All right, so it's I think it's time to like learn like name the planet, the home planet. Let's change the maybe 34 should be good, and then Tato. So the planet name or the empire name. The empire name I have empire name setting. So we are deciding on the setting right now. So I actually for the name of the what it was for the name of the galactic empire that I was talking about. I actually like looked into what do you call this? I actually looked into different um the name like names of different fictional. Let me check the. I was actually looking into the name of different fictional galactic empires and to find a name. Originally, I planned to name it like Halcyon, based on it's the biggest. what do you call it? It's the biggest galaxy. I googled like what is the name of the biggest galaxy in the universe right now that I know of. And the name of the biggest galaxy we know of is galaxy. It is Alcyonius Empire. So that's Alcyonius Galaxy. That's what I actually planned to name the empire. It's a nice name. It's a cool name. But I feel like, and then I stumbled into this article where it says that Alcyonius is actually not the biggest a galaxy um because it also measures the lobes and stuff like that. But yeah, the Alcune is actually really nice. A very nice name. It's spelled Alcyonius. But I felt like this is probably like kind of hard to what do you call this? Kind of hard to pronounce, right? Alcyonius, Alcyon. So I was thinking if I should just put it to like Archon or or I feel like Allion should or Allion Allion uh Allion. I am not sure which one would be like a cool name for the home planet, the home the empire. So it's probably we'll probably like settle on around something like this Alcyon Archon Alcyon. So what is the home planet the main planet of the main planet of the empire is an artificial planet. Okay, so it's an artificial planet. The main planet is an artificial planet because their original planet is which is the let's just say Archon for now. Let's just say Archon for now. Uh, the original Archon planet is already been like destroyed. It's already not really destroyed per se, where it's like gone. Grippers for feet. Sheesh. So yeah, the original Archon planet, it's not destroyed, like exploded or got killed or like got exploded by like big ass like laser beams or got upgraded. So it got destroyed by over how do you say overusing overconsumption of resources. That's pretty much what's happening to Earth right now, right? Like we have been over mining the planet. Too much mining, too much uh, too much mining of natural resources. Um, what do you call this? Too much mining of natural resources. Too much pollution. Also, uh, what do you call that? What else? What else could be natural disasters? Natural disasters and wars. Literally, the original planet has been destroyed. It's pretty much how Earth was, or the Earth will be in a couple hundred of years, or maybe 1,000 years, if the people don't if they don't find a way to make artificial to what this to manage like the resources of the planet. That's what's going to happen. So so what's the main why is it an artificial planet now? So after the artificial planet has been destroyed, I mean after the original Archon planet has been destroyed, So the remaining survivors basically made an artificial planet. But you gotta say, why not just make, why not just transfer to another planet like what the like Earth is trying to do, like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, right? They're trying to move to the moon, or like the terraform like Mars. So why not just, so why not move to another planet? So the main reason why they don't move to, so the main reason why they what do this? So the main reason why they made an artificial planet instead of just moving to another planet, even though it's a lot more effort, is because artificial planets are really, really maneuverable. They're very maneuverable. It's are maneuverable. And also the good thing about artificial planet is that it can go on indefinitely as long as you continue to put resources into it. So this is where this is the motivation, their motivation. So the motivation of Archon Empire to uh, conquer other planets is to get resources to power up the artificial planet planet. So using their like more advanced weaponry, um, obviously big cannons, big spaceships, uh, big guns or whatever, they go ahead and conquer different planets from at first their galaxy, and then towards after conquering their entire galaxy, they moved on into different galaxies, and they have pretty much conquered like thousands, millions of planets, because like some planets don't have people in it, so free estate, and like probably like 80% of the planet don't have people, uh not probably 80, probably like 10%, and 90%, or 95%, because if after if this is like stacked like millions of planets, like 5% is actually pretty big already. So 95% of the planets don't really have people in them, they have inhabitants. So like free real estate, free, you just take um resources from that. I'm not sure if you know about this, but there are like some crazy planets out there. There are planets where it just rains glass, it just rains the diamonds, or there are planets that rain lava, or rain like entire rocks just raining down. So there is a lot of resources. So it basically, this is what starts uh like make hacker. So they wanted to make a more what do you call this? A more efficient way of conquering planets. Instead of sending multiple what do you call this? Instead of sending like hundreds and thousands of different like their people, instead of using like hundreds of thousands of robots or ships. So basically, what they did was they pretty much created what do that? They create, so they wanted to make something that's really, really powerful enough to conquer planets on its own. So a planet on its own. Basically, a living weapon. That's pretty much what my tactic is. A living weapon. They wanted to make. They wanted to make a living weapon. Living weapon. So, they obviously they experimented with cyborg. Uh, they experiment with chimera, basically stitching together different alien species with like different what do you call this, different alien parts that with like the desirable traits. For example, like really smart or really strong or really fast or being very very adaptable. So yeah, they have a lot of experiments, like drones, uh, and then uh, okay, what else? What else would I put there? Robots. The problem with this is that it needs too much. It is too much resources. Cyborgs, for example, you still need people. Chimera, for example, obviously you would need like different aliens, and it takes energy to get aliens from one place to another. And then there's robots, obviously need a lot of resources, which they really really need to power their planet instead. So instead of that, they everything changed when they found a body of a half dead celestial, of a half dead celestial. Oh, what's a celestial anyway? What is a celestial in this universe? So what is the celestial in this universe? That's because obviously celestials are like it refers to a lot when you look at like different myths, when you look at different stories, fictional stories, every every like every um uh what do you call that, every character or like every story have their own definition of celestial. Like for example, celestials in like Chinese are like gods, right? And or in Marvel, celestial is a race of aliens that are really really powerful. So what is a celestial uh in my universe? In my universe. Okay, so the difference with so in my universe, a celestial is basically a being with a being that is created alongside uh, alongside each universe. So every single universe, every single time a universe is created, it basically on a percentage chance. There's a chance uh first okay, it's created every time a new universe is created. Created. But of course, not all universe has their own what do you call this? Well, of course, not all universes has their own celestial, because obviously there's like an infinite number of universes. Because if there's an infinite number of universes, then that would mean there's an infinite number of celestials. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Just like random celestials, just roaming around. So I decided to make it that so that each universe. So every time a universe is created, there is a very very small uh infinitesimally eh? Is that, yeah, infinitesimally a small chance of creating a celestial. So so how powerful are celestials? Like, so what they do is literally they are created alongside the universe, and they go around and create planets. They go around and destroy planets. They're just beings with like no purpose. They don't really do anything. Some celestials are there are different. They are very different. Uh, Celestials are very different from each other. Celestials don't really have a purpose, but they do a lot of things. There are celestials that take care. of their own planet, their own universe. There are some that basically destroy whatever they want. There are some that conquer different other universes, and there are some that just abandon the universe, and they abandon the universe and go around traveling our universes, adding other in to other universes. So which one? So the main reason how main reason how they managed to find a half dead celestial is it the main reason why they managed to find a half dead celestial is because um it's probably it's a victim of this. Let me is there a highlight? Yeah, there you go. So basically, there he is a this celestial is a victim of another celestial trying to conquer another universe, and they got injured, and they were like half dead. Basically, they are not conscious, but they're not dead either. And okay, so one of the scientists of of one of the scientists of the Archon Empire managed to miraculously compress the core, that celestial core, into a small cube. So they're thinking, and then they were thinking of what they can do to that power source. So so they were thinking like, what can we do with the celestial like power source? What do we do with this core? What can we do with this core? We were thinking maybe we could use it to power up the planet. The problem is they can't, because it basically like overcharges like the planet, and it's going to destroy it is going to destroy the thing if it um what do you call this, it was going to destroy the planet if they put it in the if they replace the core of the artificial planet, core of the artificial planet. No, but they can't, because it's like there's too much power, too much power. So they were thinking maybe we could turn it into a weapon to make what do you call this, maybe they could turn it into a weapon, because um obviously it would be much easier if they have like a very very strong weapons that they can use to like conquer other planets for more resources. So they tried to put it in a robot, tried to put it in a robot. Same issue, too much power. uh Tried to put it in a weapon, same issue, too much power. But for some reason, they did for some reason, the power like resonated with one of the clones they were using as a body double of the uh let's say the third Archon prince. It resonated with one of the body doubles of the third Archon prince. Obviously, since they're intergalactic, they want like body doubles uh to 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 get to get the to catch bullets when there's an assassination attempt, or if it needs to be replaced, if it needs to be what do you call this? If it needs to be replaced, if it needs to be protected, or they just want like the survival of the royal family, and they miraculously um were able implant they were miraculously able to implant the core of what do you call this? They were miraculously able to implant the core of the celestial into one of the clones. One of the clones. So they found out that what do you call this? They found out that it cannot be contained. The core cannot be contained in a what do you call it? It cannot be contained in what do you call that? It cannot be contained in a non-living body. Non-living body. It's not really non-organic body. In a non-organic body, because there's too much power. But when they put it in an organic body, when they put it in an organic body, what happens is that the body tries to into uh, uh, adapt to take in the core. So they tried it. Um, so they tried before. Obviously, before they tried it on the clone body of the prince, because even though it's a clone, it's literally still a prince. So before they implanted it into the clone, they tried it out on or animals or other aliens, and obviously, if not strong enough, the body will disintegrate. It will disintegrate because it can't take in the power. But if it does, then but if it is, then that body will what do you call this? Will get overwhelming power. So they managed to actually implant it into gigantic alien animals. I'm not sure how you gigantic like gigantic creatures, alien creatures, and found out that and the problem with this is, so they managed to implant it into a gigantic alien creature. The problem with this, but there's a problem with this. There is a problem uh with implant, and it worked, but there's a problem. Okay, to let you have what do you call this, to let you have like an idea of what this is probably gonna look like, just imagine Godzilla, but not like the normal Godzilla, but the Godzilla with the beams, the Godzilla with the uh glowing spines on the back, something like that. But it works. But there's a problem with that. There's a problem. So what's the problem? What's the problem of like implanting it in gigantic creature? You could literally use a weapon, right? You could just send the alien, this creature to what do you call this? Different planets, have it wreak havoc, and conquer the conquer what remains. But there's a problem is that they can't control it. They can't control it. It's too powerful. Uh, they cannot control it properly. They can turn it on or off, but they can't tell it what to do. That's a problem. They can't control properly. Like what's the point of like conquering a planet that's completely destroyed? Let's say you're going to conquer like a planet, right? There are like people, there's government, there's like if everyone is dead, what are you conquering? It's just land now. And even where it destroys resources, it destroys civilizations. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work. What can they do? What they need it to be? They need it to be in a body that they can control, or that can think for itself, that can think rationally. So that's where they pretty much use. That's where they use the. Okay, let's remove that because I think that this should be afterwards. So that's where they use like where they got the idea of using um the clones of the third Archon Prince. Yeah, so they got the idea of using third Archon Prince because if it was inside a rational being, then they would be able to control, and they would be able to control it. If they would be able to control it if they could brainwash the the body, the person. They were able to. Yeah, so they were able, if they were able to. But the problem is problem is the body is not strong enough. The body is not strong enough. So yeah, as I said, they tried it on smaller animals, smaller aliens, and the body is not strong enough. It will disintegrate. But if they were put it in a gigantic alien creature, that they were able to contain the power, and So what they did, so what they did is that they experimented on the clone. They experimented on the clones. Experimented. Experimented on the clones, like to give it the DNA of the bigger aliens, but still remain human. No, not human, but still remain rational. So they somehow managed to do this. So they somehow managed to do this, and they somehow managed to do this, and ended up with a body that could withstand uh the, the power or the energy of the core. So what the heck? Yeah, so they were able to make it with the chimera of the third princess body. So what do they do? So they implanted. So they're finally successful. They're finally successful, but on the launch day, on the launch day. But on the launch day, what do you call this? But on the launch day, something happened. Since it had the DNA of the third prince, it literally also had his memories. It had his personality. It had what do you call this? It literally had his memories, his personality. Um, but it also knew that but it also had um, it had his abilities. His abilities include um, technomancy. Technomancy, like his abilities include technomancy. So he's pretty much is able to manipulate like devices using signals. Uh, he was able to control devices or machines abilities, but it also knew. But it also knew. Uh, but by gathering data around. Okay, so the problem starts that something happened. The clone was actually conscious the entire time. Conscious. Basically, the clone was actually conscious the entire time, even though his body was sleeping. So the body was sleeping, but the mind is conscious, and it had the third princess memories, the personality, abilities. But by gathering data around him, he managed to know that uh, what experiments were they were doing to him, which is by the way very painful and excruciating. But why would it be excruciating? Obviously, because they opened him up. They literally replaced his heart with the core, or implanted the core in his heart, which pretty much to which pretty much made him really mad, made him really mad at the scientists that were experimenting on him. So on the launch day, what happened is uh, they released they finally turned on or booted up. That would be weird if they turned on the body. That just sounds so weird. So they finally initiated let him wake up, let the body wake up. But like the but the cat but the clone had been scheming to destroy the entire planet as revenge for all the pain he has caused. Obviously, what do you call this? Give me a minute. I'm running out of drinks. My throat is kinda what do you call this? My throat is kinda dry at this point. Ah. Yeah, so they finally let him wake up. But the clone, as is scheming to destroy the planet, destroy everything, as revenge for all the pain um, he has endured. So obviously, the scientists, obviously, the scientists, scientists weren't dumb people. Um, they obviously knew that they needed a contingency just in case they go wild. It's pretty much the same thing that they use, same thing that they use with the giant aliens. They have remote access to his brain and can uh, uh, turn them on or off at will. So yeah, they weren't dumb. Uh, they also have suppressor suppressing shackles. As you have seen in my design, I do have shackles on. I have on my neck. It's kind of broken. There's also one on my right arm. There's also two on my leg. There's two on my arms and one on each leg. Okay, so yep, there is. I got. So yeah, they also have suppressing shackles, right? They have suppressing shackles. So, but but they failed to take account. But they failed to take into account the ability of the third prince. They failed to take account the ability of the third prince because obviously a third prince is actually like one of the talented ones, one of the more talented people of the kingdom, who was really good at fighting, really good at commanding, very good, like he's very multi-talented, but that's not the thing that made him uh what do you call this that's not the thing that made him uh able to escape the clutches of like the suppressors, the limiters. It's his technomancy. It's his technomancy that uh, pretty much what they call this brought on their downfall because of the celestial core. Because because of the celestial core. Um, because of the celestial core, his technomancy and see and now has become more powerful. Like, well, it has become way more powerful. Become way more powerful, and now he could actually influence data. Uh, he could now influence data from what you call it? He could now influence data just by thinking of it, and so as by thought. So when okay, so he was like, just imagine that he's in a tube, right? It's like in one of those sci-fi tubes where they're floating inside like a liquid in a tube, and then when they woke up, uh, when he woke up, like the the scientists discovered the energy levels were rising. They were planning to shut him down. They were planning to shut him down. Um, when they pressed the launch button, the power output started spiking out of control. And obviously, this is dangerous. So the scientists pretty much the scientists smacked the uh, contingency button. to turn him off, to activate the shackles. But the problem is, he's a freaking technomancer. So he did was um hijack the signal. All right. So he hijacked the signals of what do you call this? He hijacked the signals um uh of like the scientists. So yeah, the shackles didn't work. The um the shackles didn't work. They weren't able to control him, and uh using his power, using his power, he disintegrated the entire artificial planet. And obviously he's floating out of space. He's floating out of space now. He regenerated one of the armor, or like one of the suits in the one of the experimental suits in the lab. He copied he copied the data and then regenerated it on his body, because before he was obviously to become a weapon, they needed him to be able to create like multiple weapons, to be able to use, to know what weapons are there. So they put in his brain all the weapons of like the empire, all the vehicles, all the technology, everything about the empire. They put it in his brain. Details about where the planets of uh what they call this, that is conquered by the empire. So yeah, he created from the data like clothes and a ship to go around the universe. So uh so he spawned a ship using the data he had gotten from the laboratory on ship and clothes, and and left the artificial and left the remains of the uh artificial planet. Wait, so that's pretty much the start of that's pretty much the prologue of like his history. All right. So during and then there is in here, this is the timeline. This is the time when he arrived on Earth. Uh, he saw that the uh while the technology was not very advanced compared compared to this planet, their civilization is more advanced in a way that the people had free will and were less restricted, which gave rise to very to a wide variety of different of different interesting cultures and entertainment. Uh, after so yeah after But in the middle of this, this is the period. Let's put an asterisk. This is the period where he goes around uh different planet worlds, conquering them. conquering them while traveling, which is approximately like around 5 billion years. Yeah, so he spent like around that time 5 billion years because Alcyonus was like around around 6 billion years, 6 billion light years away, and we probably just shortened it to 5 billion years, including the time he spent like conquering the planet. So a little bit closer to the Earth, I suppose. And then we can insert adventure stories here later on, like how all his experiences, like fantasy stories and sci-fi stories, like him conquering like different planets, fantasy planets that I mentioned earlier. All right, so yeah, so after arriving here on Earth, he fell in love with the culture and decided to conquer it in a different way, through non-violent um what do you call this, through non-violent ways, using the internet and influence. Yeah, so this time the character Odo is now what do you call this. Oh shit. All right. Got it. Yeah, so the influence is now done. So yeah, this is pretty much the story. So he arrived on Earth, fell in love with the culture, and decided to conquer it in a different way through non-violent ways, using internet and influence, using the internet through entertainment and influence. That's it. That's pretty much the what do you call this? That's pretty much uh like a summary um of what do you call this? That's pretty much like a summary of the story. Although this is just like the outline. Obviously, we have to make like characters. For example, Alchemist Empire, blah 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 AD, or blah 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 year of the blah blah blah. Um, Setting. We are in the I imagine the story starts with the main character in a tube, closed eyes, floating inside the tube with the liquid inside it, and then there's this light, like the maybe the light in maybe white light or maybe blue light or red light or green light, depends. I can't think of it anything yet, but basically that's what's going to happen. And then uh basically we will have two scientists talking to each other, and then they will be talking to each other, and they will be making what do you call this, they will be making a summary of all of this, like you're thinking like it's finally time. We have been waiting for years. We have been through a lot of experimentations to build the perfect weapon, and now it's finally here. Like and then there's some dialogue, and then obviously the time comes where all the scientists are looking through like a glass, and then they press they press the button to release him, and then one of the scientists on one of those scientific those tables where there's like a lot of buttons, graph, and like whatever, mga levers and shit. Like, oh, and then one of the scientists like, reading a very very strong energy signal from the subject. What should we do? Let it be. Once it passes the danger threshold, tell me again. And then it passes the threshold, uh, and then he would like say, ah, another failure. And then, okay, let's turn it off. Press the button, shut it down. And then when they press to shut it down, and then the person on the table will say, "Oh, sir, for some reason, the subject is not, what do you call this? The subject is not like responding. We cannot get in touch with, what do you call this? We cannot get in touch with the the shackles. It's not responding. Um, how?" And then the lead researcher is like, "How can it be?" And then this is the time where, this is the time where the tube like could probably start breaking. It's like an egg, like you can hear the cracks going through, traveling through the glass tube, or a transparent tube. It probably might not be glass, maybe like reinforced, like transparent, some kind of transparent material. And then emergency, continue deploy the contingency plan. Obviously they're going to send in soldiers, eliminate the subject, but make sure not to destroy the core. And then so they send in while the glass tube cracked, the MC awakens and then stands up while like a bunch of soldiers, like a ton of soldiers, approaching him. And then he starts saying like, um what should we think about, I'll probably be writing like a story of this sometime, and I will upload it in uh on Twitter. So what's gonna happen is, uh um cannot think of anything yet that what he's going to say. But obviously, oh, okay. I would probably say like, uh we finally meet uh my creator, and also I said this is the first time we met my creator, and will also be the last. And then, what they call that, like, there will probably be like a special effect of like the circuit running through the ground, and the ground start shaking. And like, and then one of the scientists, sir, the what do you call this, the ground is the ground is shaking, the lab is collapsing. And then, what is this, yeah, it can't be helped. And then he orders like the soldiers to fire their guns, but what do you call this, but obviously he doesn't get hurt. And he spawns like a ton of guns from behind him, and obviously shoots us the shoulder. And obviously the standard line, fuck nah, or impossible. And then, what do you call this, the scientist like goes ahead. Ah, shit, that actually would have been a good, like the good main cat, a good, what do you call this, okay, so I guess that will be the main big bad guy in the story. Baka na. And then, what do you call that? And then he proceeds to like, starts running away. And then you can't run. And then, uh, obviously, uh, like he starts tearing apart the people, and then the lab collapses. The entire planet disintegrates, and it is what it's actually that's what happens. And then oh yeah, the lab disintegrates. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's go back a bit. Let's go back a bit before he escaped. And he tries to escape. Then obviously the main character will be like, "You can't escape from me." And then, uh, probably debris falls on him. Let's say debris falls on what do you call this? The debris falls on on the main the lead scientist, and then he spawns clothes. This clothes which is actually based on one of the experimental clothing in the from the lab. And then he spawns a ship to leave the lab, and then obviously while he's moving away the planet explodes. And then this is where the part where he goes around different planet worlds and exploring them, and in approximately 5 billion years, and then he before he arrives on Earth. But the thing is, the main character, or our MC, or our OC here, is probably not aware that the scientist survived, and was actually he was able to survive the this he survived the caving in of um he survived the caving in of the lab, managed him to find himself a suit. And then when one of the royals who was on a way from on a business, one of a couple of royals, actually there should be probably there's probably a bunch of royals just moving around different planets. They probably won't be living in the main base anyway. So or maybe we could separate it like the military planet, and like the planet where the royals are. They go ahead, and since they lost contact with their main base, someone goes ahead and tries to visit, check out what happened, why the artificial planet um stopped responding. And they find that just the debris of they just find the debris of like the artificial planet just floating around, and they manage to rescue the dead body of the scientist. And obviously this is where the scientist, who has a lot of knowledge about the MC, with the help of the royals, he probably will be making a bunch of weapons, maybe even make a different clone with the several with a like a mass produced version of my character, except obviously less powerful because they don't have the celestial generator, but probably like really really powerful as well. Probably he be able to develop like a very very strong core based on like maybe like a replica. They were able to make a replica of the core with like less than only a fraction of the power, but they're able to make like a lot of them. And decides to hunt down the main character. And the problem is like they're all when the MC passes to a planet, he can only follow them, and the tracks that they did when they find uh like since they're like 2 3 planets behind every time, so they were never able to like actually find him until probably Earth. The problem is though, how will they still? How would? Probably by the time they arrive, it's already a billion years. Probably the only thing left of the scientist is probably his brain or something, and then all he has is like revenge. All he has is thinking of revenge. Or I know. He probably put his brain inside one of the mass-produced clones. Uh, he probably put his brain in one of the mass-produced clones and like try to get his revenge. Although since we're like streaming here, probably it's probably going to be not like very very common. Like the story is probably not going to be very updated always. So there's that. Oh yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the story. I think the lore so far. Um, that's how I that's how I envisioned like the story to be. I can already imagine it being animated. I would probably, if we manage to actually, maybe if we reach like 100,000 subscribers or followers. If we reach like 100,000 followers, maybe then I will, or 50,000 maybe. Maybe 50,000 is like good enough. If I can earn like a living from VTubing and like I reach 50,000 to 100,000 followers, maybe I will animate that and like have it like, because I saw Shiley's debut or like, not like lore video, origin video, and like thinking, wow, that's really cool to have like a origin video. Also saw Vox Takuma's like manga. Manga is probably like the cheaper version, because if I remember like 1,000 plus pesos, like around $20, $25 per page. So we want this to be like not very long, so I don't have to spend like 100,000, like 20,000. And even 10 pages is very expensive already, because that will be like 12K or 13K. So that's going to be very, very expensive. Probably the cost of the freaking thing. Imagine it will probably be much more expensive if it was animated. But yeah, anyway, that I think that's pretty much the gist of the story. And then we can insert like other stories from here if you want to insert my character in an adventure world. Let's just say that it's one of the planets he visited and one of the planets he has conquered or passed by, or whatever. um that's how I imagine the lore to be. I think there's really not much else to discuss. Maybe we can discuss about what the artificial planet look like. um Give me a minute, I'm gonna go to this guy. Okay, all right, they're back. So sorry about that. I think that's pretty much how I imagined the lore would be. Yes. Um, I would imagine that inside the, what do you call this? I would imagine that inside like the tube, I'll obviously be naked, probably like have long hair. Um, Scientists, generic lab coats, probably with some wearing suits, like a whole body suit, like the ABC suit. Mm, the ones that deal with radiation. Mm, the artificial planet is probably some kind of what do you call it? It's probably some. It's probably just like a giant spaceship with, but it has like some parts where there's like nature in it, like artificial park or something, artificial for recreation and stuff like that. What else? And obviously, it's going to be planet shaped because it's the one. There's a reason why most planets are round, just to make it much easier to say it's a planet. Cube planet would be like really weird too. Hmm. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I think that's it. We are already almost 2 hours in anyway. So I guess that will be it. um I will try to write up like an actual novel format of this. If I have the time, I'm not sure when. May I'm not even sure if it's anytime soon, but I will try to write a story, turn it into PDF, upload it on YouTube. I mean, upload it on, maybe I'll upload it on YouTube, like a drama, like a drama CD probably, or a novel CD where you audiobook. Yeah, maybe an audiobook, and then um I also put it uh, 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 I'll put it as like a PDF on my Twitter as well when I get the time. Maybe I'll upload this on my Twitter later, because this is kind of like a very good, what do you call this? It's a very good like lore summary. Anyway, so it probably, and I think it's actually pretty well written. I think. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it is. It kind of works really well. I'm trying to read it. Too much. And then Empire here. All right. So I guess that's pretty much it for tonight. I think we have already went through the setting. We've went through my character design.